Hey there, movie kings and queens, and welcome to another special episode of the Rainbow Rewind. We really had some fun with the last two episodes. So, Ryan, I was thinking that it's time that we maybe talk about a little more serious of a film.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
I was actually thinking of the circus one, but
Under the Big Top.
Under the Big Top, yeah. I mean, there were so many animals.
Any movie under a big top is better. And serious. All right. Well, all right. So getting to the topic at hand here now. So the movie Milk came out in 2008. It was directed by Gus Van Sant and written by Dustin Lance Black. Yep, the three-name trio.
The three-name trio, right.
You gotta have three names to work on this movie.
For the one name title. But
Gus Van Sant he directed Good Will Hunting and the remake of Psycho. That's I mean, for real, other than this movie, those were probably his two biggest movies that people would know.
Right. And Dustin Lance Black, who
is married to that lovely Tom Daly.
The Tom Daly
they're such a cute couple. I follow Tom Daly on Instagram, and their photos are.
You just look for him to be in a Speedo.
Listen. What I do with my private Instagram life is none of your business.
Right,
but they actually are.
They really are
couple.
adorable. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so this movie stars Sean Penn as Harvey Milk, but Josh Brolin coming into our conversations again here so soon.
The Brolin just
the Brolinator.
Keep rolling with that Brolin.
Rolling with Brolin.
You like that dad joke, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Get it? I've been spending too much time with you. Josh Brolin. I honestly, before I watched this movie again to get ready for the episode, I honestly forgot he was in it, and he's so good. He's so amazing. He really is.
I forgot about him. And, I haven't seen this movie. Well, I mean, I just watched it again, but I hadn't seen it since before seeing Rogue One and
Diego Luna.
Yep. Yeah. So I totally didn't realize that. That was him the first time I saw it. So, and
I forgot that Franco was in this. James Franco.
I definitely remembered was in there, but
I forgot. I forgot everyone but Sean Penn was in this movie.
Since we're talking about the cast, some of the Victor Garber,
who I was a fan of from Alias.
And I've loved it. He's been on a lot of TV stuff that I've really liked.
Well, and an out gay actor.
Exactly.
Which is glad they included. And Gus Van Sant, the director, and Dustin Lance Black, the writer, are both out gay men.
Yep. And then, so also in this movie, we had Emil Hirsch.
Looking real adorable.
Yeah.
Real adorable.
He's one, though, that I'm kind of like, is he kind of in the Where Is He Now category?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he did that movie Into the Wild, I think, that came out after this.
He had a moment right there in the late aughts. Let me pull up his Wikipedia filmography.
Did you know there was also a tiny little cameo from Dave Franco?
No, I didn't notice. I love me some Dave Franco. How did I not notice that?
Because he's billed as telephone tree number 5.
Stop it. Stop yourself. He was Speed Racer too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He was Speed Racer. What else?
I can't imagine why we forgot that.
And nothing. Yeah, not a lot of things I recognize from his most recent years. He was in Lone Survivor. He was in a movie called The Darkest Hour, but it isn't The Darkest Hour just came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a shame because he's adorable, and two, I feel like he's pretty good in the things I have seen him in.
Yeah, I agree. Well, maybe he'll have like a a daddy resurgence when he gets older or something.
Resurgence. He is a year older than me. You asshole.
I didn't mean now.
He's prime for that daddy resurgence. Now that he's in his early 30s. Telling you, if one more boy I go on a date with calls me daddy, I'm gonna go get Botox.
Well, so far, if it helps, I'm not seeing any grays.
Actually, I'm gonna embrace it.
Are you?
Yeah. When it comes, I'm just gonna embrace it.
See, I'm
in a rapid state of decay.
I'm not getting a whole lot of gray other than in my beard.
Yeah, you got some gray beard there.
But it's thinning like mad. So I'm starting to go with the number 1 all over.
I always love your motions that no one can see but me. Mike was just like kind of shaving his head.
Shaving my head.
Shaving his head.
And,
motion. Oh, now he's masturbating while flicking me off with his masturbatory hand. Very talented there.
Hey.
So Harvey Milk, huh?
So Harvey Milk. Some of the stuff that I was looking into, like while they were getting revved up to make this movie, it actually the wheels started turning for this movie back in 91.
Yeah, I saw that.
So Oliver Stone was planning on making this movie. So he had written a script called The Mayor of Castro Street.
Which which title do you prefer? Because that's what I was thinking about. So which title do you prefer? Mayor of Castro Street, which is kind of creative, or Milk?
Actually, I think I prefer The Mayor of Castro Street.
I kind of do too. I think I wonder if they just didn't use that because Stone had already maybe trademarked it or something.
Probably. Although, so Gus Van Sant had signed on back then.
Well, it was after it didn't work out with Stone, I think.
Well, so in 92, he signed on, and Robin Williams was actually in talks to play Milk.
Yeah.
But then by 93, Van Sant parted with the studio, citing creative differences. So, and then that's when other actors were considered, even Richard Gere and Daniel Day-Lewis and Al Pacino of all people. So, but
I'm Harvey Milk.
So one of the other cool things of that. Wait.
Let's talk about some of these actors.
All right.
So we ended up with Sean Penn.
Yeah.
What do you are any of those intriguing to you? Do you think are you intrigued by any of their potential milkness?
No. In fact, because they did such a good job making Sean Penn look like Harvey Milk. Mm-hmm. That when you have that caliber of an actor that can also portray the subject so visually, I think Sean Penn was the perfect choice.
I mean, Sean Penn did end up being the perfect choice. If they had made this movie in the early 90s, I would have loved to have I think Robin Williams would have done so, because I think Robin Williams just doesn't get the credit for how good of an actor he was.
Oh yeah, I mean, he was a fantastic dramatic actor. I just don't.
And he did so many great. Oh, but like early 90s Robin Williams, he had that same kind of look to him too.
Yeah, maybe.
I totally could have seen that. I think he would have done really. Of all these actors, I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis transforms into anyone. I bet he could have done it fine. He wouldn't have looked as much like him. Neither would Robin Williams, but I think of the performances I would have wanted to see from someone other than Sean Penn.
Right.
If it had been someone else, I think that early 90s Robin Williams would have been the best, and maybe even he may have even gotten an Academy Award for that. Luckily, he still got his for another Gus Van Sant movie, which was Good Will Hunting.
Right.
So they did end up working together, and Gus Van Sant got two great actors their Oscars.
Now,
So,
one of the other
way to
names.
He didn't get Vince Vaughn the Oscar for that Psycho remake, though.
Nope.
Damn it.
Nope. And Anne Heche wasn't walking away with an Oscar from there either.
Anne Heche doesn't walk away with much anything these days, does she?
No. I thought it interesting, though, that like one of the other names mentioned was James Woods. And when I think of him now, like he's just so gross to me.
Pass.
Yeah. And
Pass.
But anyway, so cut to when they actually started making this movie. Then Matt Damon was actually originally attached to play Dan White, the character that Josh Brolin ended up playing. But
so what do you think of that?
I could see that. I could see that.
I mean, I think he would have had maybe more of the look of. I think they both kind of were able to could have looked like him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They're both such great actors. I think Damon would have killed it too. I think Damon also would have gotten the supporting actor nomination had he done it. I don't think he could have gone wrong. Both of them.
Yeah.
Would have done really well. They're both so great. Both so great.
So, any of the supporting cast then, besides Josh Brolin, stand out to you
for their performances?
Yeah.
I mean, definitely Emil Hirsch.
Yeah.
I really liked him. And then I really liked Alison Pill in this, who was also in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Ah, yeah.
So tying in my one of my recent recommendations. So she had a little bit of time there in the late aughts that she was doing some cool stuff.
Has she been doing anything recently that you know of?
Not that I know of. She was in Miss Sloane, apparently. Hail Caesar. Ooh, she was in Snowpiercer.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever see that?
I did. That was
a good one.
Josh Brolin was also in Hail Caesar.
That's right. So it looks like she's had some small roles in a few things. Yeah, but I would say those two would be the big winners from this one for me. Emil Hirsch and Alison Pill.
Yeah.
What about you?
When I first saw this movie, I didn't know who he was, but I thought Diego Luna did a really good job in this movie.
He did. It may have been a little too overacting.
I guess I don't know what that person was really like, but I don't know. Maybe you're right, but maybe I'm looking at it now with Star Wars fangirl eyes.
One of my favorite credits in this movie. So I was watching the end credits, and so you know how they have even like not extras, but people with really small parts credited. One of the credits was just said "gay man." I was like, what? Be more specific.
Right. And did it say himself?
Like everyone?
Right.
That I don't know why that cracked me up so much. I do know why it cracked me up so much, because almost the entire cast was playing gay men. Right. And so for one character to be credited with gay man. You couldn't even make up a name for this queer dude. You just had to call him gay man. Okay, so what role am I reading for? You are playing gay man. Yeah, which one? That's it. You're just gay man. Now be the gay man. Okay.
How gay should I be?
Am I more gay or man? Which, like, I'm trying to get into the role. Which am I real? Which am I really? Like, which am I feeling and which am I just kind of repressing?
Can you just go out and stand in that crowd of other gay men?
He's like, okay, just to be clear, I am gay man. You are just Harvey Milk, Sean Penn. But I am the gay man.
The gay man.
That was the credit. And now on his resume, he puts I was in Milk. What role did you play? Gay man. No. That was Sean Penn. No. Sean Penn played Harvey Milk. I played gay man in Milk.
And not even gay man number 1.
No, it didn't even. It just said gay man. I wish I had written down his name because I want to look him up and see if he has that like credited.
Oh my God!
I'll have to do that later. But that just cracked me up in the credits.
Yeah, so one of the things that I really enjoyed about this movie was how they interspersed some like actual footage and like the real like TV
Yeah.
spots and stuff like that. I don't know. In some ways it kind of gave it a certain authenticity, I felt like.
Well, even the way they shot the scenes that they shot that wasn't like archive footage, it had kind of that grainy, older look to it that made it feel of its time. And I thought that made the look of the film even better.
Yeah.
And honestly, going back and watching this movie, for some reason, I thought it would feel a lot like, Darkest Hour, in the terms of, I thought it would be that one driven performance and the rest of the movie would just kind of exist.
Uh-huh.
And going back and rewatching it, I was really pleasantly surprised and reminded that, yes, Sean Penn gives an epic performance in this movie, but it's not just him. The actual story is really great.
Yeah.
The script is strong. The supporting performances are all wonderful. The whole movie comes together, and it's not just Sean Penn and company. It really was a great movie.
I think too. I think that you can tell from this movie, like if we're comparing it to a movie like Darkest Hour, you can tell that this movie was a passion project for the people making this movie.
Right.
Darkest Hour did kind of feel like that Oscar platform for
Absolutely.
Gary Oldman. So that in itself is going to make a movie like Milk just really stand out.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of Oscars, I always like to
you
give the
do.
Oscar facts.
Did you get the Rotten Tomatoes score on this one too?
I did. Okay, well let's start there. So, what do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score for Milk was? Or is, I should say.
Yeah. I'm going to, it's got to be high. I'm going to say like 90.
See, I was guessing lower because for whatever reason, I didn't remember exactly how well thought of this movie was when it came out. And it actually has a 94.
Wow.
I know that I thought it would be maybe like in the 80s. Like
which would have still been great.
Right. Like that's, where a lot of these biopics that are very one character driven kind of end up. So to see it this high reminded me of how good it was. And then, so Academy Awards, Oscars, Oscar talk.
Okay.
Do you remember, or do you want to take a stab at how many nominations it had?
I kind of thought I had skimmed over that, but all I can really remember is that Sean Penn did win, right?
Correct.
Yeah, for best actor.
I'll tell you this, it got 2 wins.
Okay.
So Sean Penn.
And it was screenplay, right?
Yep.
Okay. I saw the
Dustin
wins.
Lance Black won. And I mean, I really remember that speech that Dustin Lance Black gave. That it was really good.
Really, I'd have to go back and see that.
You got to go back. I'm sure it's on YouTube or something. But yeah, his speech was so moving and great. So when I was first thinking about it, I was like, I remember Sean Penn won, and then I remembered all of a sudden his Dustin Lance Black's speech and how great it was, and then I was like, oh yeah, it won too. Now, so it won 2. How many nominations do you think it got?
I mean, I'm gonna guess 4 because I'm gonna say that it probably had Best Picture and probably Best Supporting Actor.
It did have both of those, but it had 8 total nominations.
Wow.
Yeah. I know, again, this movie was more well thought of than I even remembered. So yeah, Best Picture, actor, supporting actor for, do you know who?
Josh Brolin?
Yep.
Okay.
So Brolin for that. Original screenplay. There are 4 more things it was nominated for. Take a guess. If it was nominated for Best Picture, what else was it probably nominated for?
Director?
Yep.
Okay.
So Van Sant was nominated, and then the other 3 things you may not get. So I'll give you quick.
Costume. I mean, it's a period piece.
Yeah,
so.
costume design was one.
It was a total ass grab there, but
2 more. And I didn't appreciate you grabbing my ass when you guessed that. That was uncalled for.
Sorry, my hand just moved like that. I mean, I know that Danny Elfman did the music, so was score.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my gosh, you are 7 for 7. One more.
Okay, one more. Oh shit. Cinematography.
You fucked it up.
All right. Well,
editing.
Okay. I mean, seriously though, like we were talking about with the way that they had the grainy shots and stuff, cinematography would have.
Yeah, wouldn't have surprised.
Yeah,
wouldn't have surprised me. But yeah, I do remember.
Unless they were actually just using bad film, and so
I do remember that year. I was actually surprised that Sean Penn won because all the buzz, and I believe it was seen as a 2-man race, but all the buzz, I think even the Golden Globe went to Mickey Rourke for The Wrestler.
Oh, The Wrestler. That was that year. Okay.
That was that same year. And this was the same year as this was the Dark Knight year.
Oh, so that's why Josh Brolin didn't win.
Yep, because Heath Ledger won that one.
Ledger, yeah.
So he didn't really have a chance.
So you know who probably should have been nominated?
Who?
Brian Yates Sharber.
Oh my God, why? Was he gay man?
He was gay man.
Yes. Yes.
He has one other credit.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he had one line.
No.
And I was hoping the one line was, yes, queen. Just like from the crowd, like the only.
So he has one other credit. It was from 2015 in a movie called All the Others Were Practice.
Please tell me he was straight man.
He was Omar. So straight man.
Yeah.
All right. So sorry, but I had to bring it back around to that for a quick second.
I'm glad you did. I'm very glad you did. Gay man. He's a gay man. He's the gay man.
The gay man.
So one thing I took note of. So obviously this is an historical drama. So a lot of people probably know at least some of the story of Harvey Milk. But a lot of younger people may not. And they start the movie with the reports of him being murdered.
Yeah.
What did you think of that? Did you think that was maybe spoiler alert.
Well.
But what did you think of that, like giving that away up front? Do you think that took away from the punch it could have given at the end of the movie, or do you think that was a good creative choice?
I don't think that it was a bad choice at all. I liked actually how they kind of start with those reports and then go into Harvey kind of doing his tape recorded diary, basically, and saying this should only be played in the event of my assassination.
Yeah, they did a lot of foreshadowing of his death because he joked at one point, I'm never going to make it to 50.
Yeah.
And he was murdered when he was 48.
Yeah.
And then on his 48th birthday party, he goes, well, it looks like you might make it to 50, you know? So they did a lot of foreshadowing of his eventual death.
No, so I really liked the way that they chose to do that.
I also loved how they used his recordings as the framing and almost kind of the narration. Way to narrow it.
Yeah.
The story. I thought that was really cool and creative and a nice way to keep that story moving. Yeah.
That definitely helped them with, because there were time gaps, especially when he was running for that office. It would go from losing to right away, like the next year running again. Yeah. Which I think that was smart too, because that was the focus of the movie, was his run for office and being the first gay man to win an office like that. So I'm glad that they kept the focus on that time period.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I love seeing his transformation too, from like the hippie look, to the more well-groomed, kind of establishment-looking politician, serving some political realness.
Yeah, and you know he's a good looking man too. So
oh yeah, I'd fuck him. You know, I'd fuck him. I'd
milk him.
I'd stick my straw in that glass of milk.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I'd milk him dry.
Jesus.
No, off
well,
the track.
speaking of which, I did read one article when I was kind of doing some diving into looking into the movie. One person criticized the movie for not portraying Milk as sexual a person as he was. They said that that Hollywood was trying to whitewash him by making him look like this almost strictly monogamous man who went from serious relationship to a serious relationship when really he was all about them boys. What do you think of that?
I didn't get that impression. I mean, his life outside of the political run wasn't really the focus of the movie.
Exactly. That's what I thought too. Like, there's lots of like, did you ever see that? There's never been a movie about JFK where they criticize the movie like, hey, I know he was trying to handle the Cuban Missile Crisis, but why didn't they show him fucking around on Jackie?
Right.
You know,
right.
like
why didn't they go into his relationship with Marilyn?
Exactly. Like, why the gay movie got to be about fucking?
Yeah. In my opinion, the way that they showed him move from one relationship to another kind of showed that he got around, but also even there was a scene where they're inside the camera store, and he was talking to James Franco's character, and saying, why isn't my campaign manager doing this and that and that? And he's like, I'm tired, and he's like, yeah, because you were he was like, I was busy passing out flyers, and he's like, yeah, at a bathhouse, so it's like,
yeah, they did acknowledge a sexual, and
it's
culture
like
that
you
existed.
You kind of think that, okay, if he's hanging out at bathhouses, Milk's probably kind of played around too, and I don't know. It didn't need to.
It didn't need to be the focus of the story, and honestly, if it had been, I think it would have played a little weird. Like,
it may have cheapened the message too,
which is why they may have made that decision. But I also think it wouldn't have contributed anything.
Right.
Like, if you're going to include that, if that was such an important part of someone's life, then it needs to have a purpose and a reason. So,
right. Or if there was something about him doing that led to maybe media outrage or something like that.
Yeah. If he had gotten caught, having sex in public and that had made the papers and it affected his campaign, then yeah, include it. But why do you have to include, because he's gay, you got to include all about his sex life?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That I don't know, that criticism.
It's a double standard.
Yeah. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Lord knows enough people rub you, so eventually somebody's going to do it the wrong way.
If only it was just one person. If only.
If only.
So, one of the things that's so striking to me about this movie is, you compare it to like Love, Simon, which we just watched earlier this year, and just how different a time that was. This was the 70s, and they were campaigning against very popular laws that would have allowed people just to get fired for supporting gay people.
Yeah.
Not even just gay people themselves, but people who were openly supportive of gay people could be discriminated against. And it's just so amazing how far along we've come as a society.
Yeah. And, so when this movie came out, it was kind of, they kind of tied it to the 2008, Proposition 8 kind of stuff going on in California for gay marriage. And even since then, I feel like
even in the last 10 years since this movie came out, we've had so many advances.
Oh, one of the things that I saw was that they filmed some stuff in front of the actual camera shop.
Yeah.
So
they bought out. So it's apparently that the space that was Milk's camera shop is now like a gift shop, and they bought it out for the shoot of the movie to make it like the Photoshop again.
So I thought that was really a really nice touch.
Well, it's nice that they actually went on location and did a lot of filming where these events actually happen. And if you ever been to San Francisco,
no.
You haven't made the pilgrimage?
I haven't.
Oh, it's mandated.
I want to so bad.
Gay Pope is mad at you. By Gay Pope, of course, I am referring to Cher.
Oh.
But no, I went a couple years ago, and it was just like overwhelming walking. Yeah, but for real, walking through the Castro and thinking about just how historical this place is for our people.
Right.
It was just really
religious.
I mean, kind of. I'm not a super religious person, and getting to be in that kind of a space and think about all the sacrifices and all the struggles that queer people had before us to make our lives possible, it just made me really thankful for the kind of work and the kind of risks that people like Harvey Milk and all the characters in this movie took for us.
Now, did you, and I have not seen this, but did you see the Stonewall movie that came out just a couple years ago?
No, because I heard it was trash.
See, and that's exactly why I didn't see it. And I'm wondering, like, I would like to. I think there's been some documentaries.
There have been,
done.
Yep. There's been documentaries, and recently Dustin Lance Black did another. I think it was a mini series on TV that I never got around to watching that I need to, called When We Rise.
I forgot that he was involved in that.
He wrote that too, and I need to watch that.
I only watched
it looks so good, and I heard great things about it.
First episode, and I didn't get past it, not for lack of wanting to watch it.
I already know how it ends. We get our rights. Move on.
I think there was a new Arrow or something like that.
Oh my God. Just because an Avenger didn't show up. I'm like, fuck this shit.
No, but I'd like to see that story done right too.
Yeah. There's so many great historical stories about the movement that I think need to be told, and more are starting to be told. I mean, you had what, Dallas Buyers Club come out a few years ago, and as crappy as I heard it was, they did make the Stonewall movie. Hopefully they'll make a better one.
There was a movie a couple years ago that I saw that I really liked called Pride, and it was an English movie about was it England or Ireland? Either way, it was from Europe, but about like union workers getting together with people fighting for gay rights, and
I saw a trailer for that.
Yeah, so that was a really good movie.
Yeah, I want to see more because they don't teach our history,
right?
Like, I don't recall ever learning anything about a gay rights movement in any schooling I ever had.
Nope.
In fact, even when I'm so bitter about it, I still am. When I was in college, I took a gay and lesbian studies class, thinking it was going to be like, let's learn about gay and lesbian history. Nope, it sure wasn't.
They taught you how to be a gay and lesbian?
They did not do that either. It was all about like, which is all valuable stuff, but it was all about like queer theory and very kind of
like what makes you gay,
like radical.
Okay.
Which is fine. I wasn't mentally ready for that at that time. Mm-hmm. And I was more interested in, I want to learn about, this was in the thick of like all the Proposition 8 stuff. I was a political science major, so I was really wrapped up in the politics of the moment and not so much, okay, queer theory is fine and all, but we got to get some rights too.
Right.
And then I got a C+ in the class. And I always had to I always had to have a copy of my transcript sent home because I was still under my parents' car insurance, and they got a discount for our, GPA being at a certain level. So they had to submit a transcript to our insurance company. And so my dad saw my transcript and he goes, "So Ryan, what was so difficult for you about gay and lesbian studies?" And the only thing I could think of was, I guess it was a more lesbian heavy class than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not qualified to co-host a gay movie podcast if I only am a C+ gay at best.
So were you out then, or was your dad just...
I was fully out. I was completely out.
Ryan, we suspect you're gay. How did you not pass
that
class?
If anything, that should have see, Dad, I'm not gay. I only got C+.
See?
I only got C+. Guess I'm not as gay as you thought I was. I do want to talk about... So I think I said this in a previous episode. I typically hate at the end of the movie when they do the where are they now?
I wanted to bring that up because I remember you mentioning that before.
Yeah, but I liked it in this one. And honestly, parts of it. So I can't believe I forgot about the Twinkie defense.
Yeah.
So Dan White actually in court used the defense when he was on trial for killing Harvey Milk and the mayor that he ate too much junk food and it caused him to go all crazy and kill 2 people. And he got convicted on the lowest charge you could possibly get convicted on for killing people, which was manslaughter. And he was sentenced to 7 years. Yep. He only served 5 before he was released from prison. Can you imagine murdering the mayor of a large American city and
in cold blood
and a city supervisor or another elected official and getting 5 years in prison for it? 5.
Yeah. No, that's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
And then of course he ends up offing himself 2 years later.
Yeah, that's just that pissed me off more than anything. It's like our lives were so little that, I mean, you can't help but think that was to send a message.
Yeah,
of how little,
even in San Francisco.
Exactly. Gosh, that boiled my blood. But on the flip side of that, and I'm going to work this into a kind of mid-episode recommendation.
Okay.
So stick with me.
Mid-episode recommendation.
The best kind. So Cleve Jones went on to start the Names Project and the AIDS Memorial Quilt.
Yeah.
And a fun fact about the AIDS Memorial Quilt is that, do you know where it's currently housed?
I do not.
Where they keep it? It is kept in Atlanta, and I have been to see it. You can go. Anyone can schedule a visit to go see it. It's not in some huge museum. It's actually in this little kind of warehouse-looking place, and you can schedule a time to go. And if you are ever in Atlanta, I know we have some listeners in Atlanta, thanks to my little Southern following. But if you're ever there, I highly recommend going to check it out. It is so powerful, so moving, so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
To see these panels. They keep them in storage units. It's not all like one connected quilt. They keep all the swatches or whatever you call them in there. They have some that are on display, but most of them are tucked away. But then they have books with letters that the people who send in the swatches send with them, with the stories of the people who the panel is memorializing, and it's just so moving, and it's an amazing thing that they created.
That's awesome.
To remember all those who lost their lives.
Now, speaking of Cleve Jones, and some of the other folks that were portrayed in the movie, some of the real life people, either there were some that actually portrayed themselves in the movie, but then there were also some that played gay man.
Here's the deal. If I look good enough to portray myself in a movie in 30 years of me right now, then blessed be, honey child. Blessed be. Jesus.
Yeah. But,
Jesus, take the wheel.
But anyway, I thought that was a nice touch that they had some...
well, Cleve,
some of the real
Cleve Jones
people.
was actually he got a like consulting producer credit or something. I don't know why I paid so much attention to the credits of this movie, but he was, an on-set, making sure that things were kind of historically accurate. So that's really great that because oftentimes with historical movies, you obviously didn't have Harvey Milk there,
right?
But to have the people who were actually there, who are still with us, participate, not only give their blessings, but be there to say yes, this
accuracy.
Is how that just gives it more credibility and makes it feel even more real. And that's where the Stonewall movie, at least from what I've heard, went so wrong, is that, they create a fictional character to center this entire movement around, and that really rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Just stick with the story. Stick with what happened. What happened was interesting enough. You don't have to add in these fake stories. And sure, of course, a Hollywood movie is going to take creative liberties with parts of this. Not every word that was spoken in this movie actually happened, but to get that historical perspective correct, I think is so important.
I agree. So I think we've covered quite a bit. Should we give our ratings for this movie?
I'm down to clown. Let's do it, Mike.
All right. I gave this movie 4 reels. Mainly because of the content of the movie, and from what I believe is historical accuracy. I just thought the movie was really well done, told an amazing story, and I don't know, it just it really resonated that well with me.
Yeah, going in, I forgot how much I liked this movie.
Yeah,
until I rewatched it.
Well, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
It's not the kind of movie that you rewatch on a regular basis.
No,
It's kind of heavy, and but when you do sit down and take the time to watch it, you're like, damn.
Yeah, it's so good and so well made. The performances are all great, and you can tell that the people who made this movie wanted to do these characters, the story right, and it's so powerful, and I think it's such an important film for any queer people to see. So I'm going to give it 4 reels too. It's I think a very important movie that is aged very well in its 10 years of existence.
Now, you like to go back and quote my past reels. I'm gonna go back and say that so far you're 3 for 3 on 4 reels for the Rainbow Rewinds.
Well, maybe because I picked 2 of the movies. And then the one you picked is an all-time great. So how about this? Next time we do one, I'm going to pick a movie that I guarantee will not be 4 reels. How about that?
How about that?
I'm going to pick a movie I can promise you will not be 4 reels. Listeners,
be on guard.
Be ready. It is going to get rough.
All right. Well, hope you guys have enjoyed this one then.
So we did the prestigious Oscar movie. The next one we gonna do, it ain't gonna have no Oscar nominations.
Well, I think it is time to do a rewind on a movie that
filth
isn't
trash.
Yeah, it isn't so looked up to. All right. Well, Ryan, I think that is going to wrap it up for Milk.
Let's wrap this up.
Wrapping it up.
Don't ever do that again.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We're getting slap happy now. All right, everybody. So
more like rap happy.
Oh,
Boom.
Booyah.
I'm not holding this mic, but if I was, I'd be dropping
Drop it. All right. Well, all right. So for real now, follow us on Twitter at Real Gay and Instagram at Real Gay Movie Show. Like our Facebook page. Go back and check out some of our other episodes of Rainbow Rewind. And so for Ryan and myself, I'm going to say that's it. Have a real gay day.